My name is Aram. I'm here with the Armenian National Committee of America, with our Kurdish friends, our human rights advocates, supporters of religious freedom. Our message today is that the U.S.-Turkish alliance, the fact that these two nations are both members of NATO, does not represent a license for Turkey to violate the rights of its own citizens, to abuse its Kurdish population, to blockade Armenia, to deny the Armenian genocide, to occupy Cyprus. On all these issues, including religious freedom, human rights, and democracy, we're here to say that the U.S. government needs to take a principled stand.
And what can the U.S. do to augment its relationship now that Erdogan is still there?
Sure. I think we need to stand up for what we've always stood up for, which is freedom and democracy and human rights. We need to demand that Turkey release leaders of the HDP party. We can start, I think, very aggressively.
How many leaders are in prison currently?
Dozens of HDP leaders are in prison, including the two co-chairs. Demirtas, Selahattin Demirtas, and his co-chair are both in prison, along with many of the leaders of the HDP. These are the elected leaders of one of the main opposition parties in Turkey.
And what's the justification that?
It's some made-up justification. Similarly,
phobia.
Just basically, if people stand up for their rights, if they challenge the government, they're going to end up either oppressed or imprisoned. There's a minister, a Protestant minister, whose name is Pastor Andrew Brunson. He's born and raised in North Carolina, moved to Turkey to open up a ministry there, preached for 23 years, and was just arrested for nothing other than his faith. And he's in prison today. And many of the protesters here, along with other issues, are talking about that and saying, why can't the U.S. push for the release of Pastor Andrew Brunson?
Do you think there's some fascination with this administration with autocracies in general? Is that why there's a kind of hesitation to rock the boat in some way?
I'm not sure I can speak to that, but I can tell you that the policy is wrong. And the policy is to give Turkey a free pass, to give them essentially a blank check that they can do whatever they want in the region and against their own citizens, and they're going to get a welcome here at the White House, which is the wrong message. The message America sends: we're at our best, we're at our strongest, we're at our when we're principled, when we speak very honestly and forthrightly about what we believe in, which is democracy, human rights, and freedom. And all those things are being compromised today by Recep Erdogan.
And just my last question is, with the AKP seemingly getting stronger and stronger in terms of internally, how can dissidents fight back in a peaceful and effective manner, both here, both in Turkey and here?
The dissidents who today are speaking up in Turkey are incredibly brave. Among them are Garo Paylan, who's an ethnic Armenian who serves in the Turkish parliament as a member of the HDP, but they need our support. They can't be alone. The message from America, from the government, and from civil society must be that we're with you, that we stand with the dissenters. When we welcome Erdogan to Washington, when the president welcomes him to the White House, the message is that we have forsaken the voices of democracy in Turkey, and we need to do just the opposite.